Hi, good morning everyone. What we're going to talk about today is how you can set your goals. Sometimes you feel like your motivation is so low, and sometimes you're telling yourself, I've been doing a lot of things, I've been working so hard, but I haven't been achieving the goals that I've set for myself. And sometimes you feel like you lack the direction. The two reasons that I can think of right now in terms of the causes of what you're feeling is number one, you don't know what you want in life, or you haven't figured out what is your purpose here on earth. One of the topics that I released is all about figuring out your purpose. You may check that video. That is going to help you a lot in terms of identifying and defining what is your purpose. And second reason is that you haven't set your goals yet. When I say goals, we're talking about specific goals. Goals that you have laid out, goals that you have identified, goals that you have defined, and goals that you have written down. So most of the goals, most probably that we have, are all in our brain, all in our memory. At the end of the day, we cannot rely everything on our memory. We have to write it down. When we say goals, we're talking about those specific personal objectives that you want to accomplish in your life. These are clear, specific, personal objectives that you want to achieve on a specific period of time. Why do we need to set goals? Why is it so important for us to set goals? Number one, it's the same with what we're doing in the companies that we're working with. We have to set goals for us to see the long-term vision, at the same time for us to also identify the short-term goals and plans that we have to do for us to achieve that long-term goals. The second importance, or the second why do we need to set personal goals, is that this exercise helps us acquire the resources that we need, the skills that we need, the knowledge that we need for us to achieve those goals. The third reason is all about measurement. You cannot improve something that you cannot measure, and you cannot manage something that you cannot measure. If you have those specific measurable goals, that is one of the ways on how you can measure your progress. At the same time, how far are you from your goals? One of my aunts told me that she was able to maximize her life and she feels fulfilled on a daily basis. She was able to travel the world and she was able to do what her passionate about in life, which is teaching, for more than 30 years in the university. And she has doctorate degree in education. When I asked her, how did you do that? She said that she always has targets that she calls projects, and she breaks down those projects into small details, and she passionately works on those projects. So that's how she's been doing it all through her life. Before I share with you the three phases of personal goal setting, I just want to share with you this quote that is very important for all of us. The greatest tragedy in life is not death, but life without purpose. What is your purpose? Are you living your purpose? Because it's tempting to live an insignificant life. It's easy to float through life without making an impact. It's safe to do the bare minimum. But what a good thing is, it's not too late to get started. If you still don't know your purpose, find it and define it. Here are the three main phases of personal goal setting. Number one is to create that big picture on what you want to do in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years. When I say big picture, we are talking about your lifetime goals. You can talk about the major facets of your life, like your career, your relationship, your family, your education, your mindset, your financials. All of these facets, you have to think of what are those things that you want to do in those areas in the next 5 years. Just a reminder, the most important in this exercise is your honesty. You have to be honest with yourself so that you can genuinely achieve those goals so that you can feel that fulfillment when you are achieving those goals, when you are in the journey in achieving those goals. Number two, you have to break it down to smaller pieces. So from that 5 years, you have to break it down to yearly. You have to break it down to quarterly, to monthly, and then to daily. And on a daily basis, you need to have your to-do list for you to support that big picture, for you to support your big dreams, your big goals that you want to achieve in your lifetime. And just a reminder, when you are creating those goals, you have to remember that it has to be SMART. Specific, measurable, action-oriented or attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And this way, you can measure the achievement of your goals. And number three, work on those goals. This is the most important part of personal goal setting. It's the execution, it's the implementation of what are you going to do to achieve those goals. You have to track all of those things that are contributing to the achievement of your goals. On a daily basis, you need to have your to-do list and you have to review it day in, day out. That's where the miracles happen. It's in the implementation. It is on how you are working towards those goals. Every now and then, you have to review or you have to do modification for you to address the changing priorities. Very important that you have to schedule your reviews. You have to put it in your calendar. The more that you are putting it in your calendar, the higher the likelihood that you're going to do it. And remember to hold yourself accountable for whatever results you may be getting. And don't forget to reward yourself and celebrate the small successes. It's very important because that is an additional fuel to your motivation. What do I mean by breaking it down to smaller pieces? Say for instance, one of your big picture goals is to travel the world in the next 10 years. Then on a yearly basis, you have to identify how many countries you have to visit. And then break it down quarterly. In each quarter, are you planning to visit one country, 2 countries? It's up to you. You have to determine your big picture goals and then break it down to smaller pieces so that there will be a higher likelihood that you're going to achieve those goals. Just a quick recap, we have 3 phases of personal goal setting. The first one is you have to establish your big picture goal. The second is you have to break it down to smaller pieces. And number 3, work on those goals. That's all it for now. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.